Welcome, everyone. This is Yasmina Sisrak. I'm a co-director of the Health Matters Program. Beth Marks, who is the other co-director of the program, is also on the call. Welcome. We will get started. Today, we're just going over program application, answering any questions that you have. It's going to be a short session. It's basically a check-in, and it's easier to just have everyone here at once and get your questions answered. Please use chat um, if you need to ask any questions. Um, I hope my sound is okay. I'm just getting one of the attendees is saying that there is an echo or feedback. Do let me know if anyone else is having the same issue. Sometimes if you are on the phone or if you're on the computer and you have two things open, sometimes you will get an echo. Okay, thanks. It sounds like it may be just an isolated issue. Okay, thanks, Michael and Carol. Um, all right, so we will get started. We are recording this session and we will share the recording and the PowerPoint, so you don't need to be taking any notes or anything. And again, we're available to chat one-on-one offline as well. Just briefly, our team, Beth and myself. Beth is the first picture, and I'm on the right. Um, we are located at the University of Illinois at Chicago. So we're in Chicagoland area, and Health Matters Program national team or we're hosted at the University of Illinois Chicago. Our community team members are Jean Desjardins. She's the virtual coach assistant. Jean has worked with us for over 20 years and has implemented Health Matters program in Albuquerque community-based organizations. Kristen Kroc is a Health Matters Advanced Certified Instructor. So if you choose to proceed and get trained in, you will get to meet both Jean and Kristen. And Kristen does parts of the training along with myself and Beth. So today's information session, we're recording it. We're going to share the PowerPoint deck. Please use the chat box for any questions that you have. And then I'm using both emails, my uic.edu and the Gmail account, because we do use Google Classroom for our virtual classroom piece. So just make sure you put me on the list of your trusted emails so you're getting emails from me. So today's goals are just to describe components of the Health Matters program. We're going to review application instructions and application requirements, identify who can participate, just give you some timeline and important dates, and most importantly, answer any questions that you may have. Beth, if you don't mind putting in the chat box direct link to where you can find application instructions and description of the program on our website, that would be great. Otherwise, I will put all these links in the chat as well when I stop talking. So the application process is very short. There's a couple of questions, and that's really thinking about us getting to know you and really thinking about strategically how to build capacity within your organization to implement a robust Health Matters program that's 12 weeks, 12 plus weeks long. And we just want to make sure that everything is kind of lined up and you're ready to go. On this link, you can download application instructions, and there's frequently asked questions as well. A little bit about us. We have been, Health Matters program is an evidence-based program. We have been doing the training in the community settings since 2008. And we have reached over 12,000 people with intellectual disabilities, trained over almost 3,000 certified instructors, worked in over 300 community-based organizations in 42 states and in 9 countries. And then during COVID, we were able to place or create a virtual classroom in using Google Classroom. So since then, we have been able to reach even more organizations and more people with intellectual disability. So this is just kind of to give you from November 2020 to February 2026. We have worked with over 200 organizations in the US and internationally, reached over 4,700 individuals with intellectual disability, trained over 11,000, I'm sorry, 1,100 staff members in 37 states. And then we have worked in organizations in Australia, Canada, Croatia, the Netherlands, and Portugal in the last 6 years. All right, so what is Health Matters Program? There are three components to the program. The first one is obviously the 12-week health promotion program aimed to be delivered for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. All of the components of the program and the training and the curriculum are evidence-based and approved by Administration and Community Living. It is free program for 12 months. We are funded by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention through the Healthy Brain Initiative Award, and we have one more year of this award. What happens after that is we always try to continue and to provide this service to community. So we find ways of being able to continue to provide the programming and provide this training for free. So the goal is the aim is there, but we have to say that their funding ends at the end of September of 2027. What will you get with the Health Matters program? There's, like I said, three parts. There's the training, virtual coach Google Classroom, and then the Health Matters program paper curriculum. The staff training is a 3-hour webinar training, and that is a live webinar, and we give you basically training on how to access Google Classroom. We run through the program, how to use the paper Health Matters curriculum, how to develop a program plan, and start the 12-week program in your organization, and just thinking about strategies and resources to improve health behaviors and health status of people with intellectual disability. So by the end of this training, 3-hour training, there's 3 additional hours of sort of what do we call offline or asynchronous work. And this is essentially you getting ready for the training as a team. I'm sorry, for the program to implement the program as the team, and then starting and running lesson 1 with your first set of participants. So that kind of counts as 3 additional hours. So if you need continuing education credits, we can provide 6 continuing education credits for this total training. And I won't go into the list. It's spelled out on the bottom of this slide, which CEUs we can provide. Additionally, they do cost $15 per person. That's something that is not covered with our grant. The paper curriculum, you would get a free copy of the paper curriculum, which essentially mirrors the classroom. We usually give at least 1 paper curriculum per 2 to 3 staff members, so depending how many team members you have, but we usually try to do 1 per 2 staff members. Obviously, again, with grant funding, the copies are limited, but you don't have to have paper curriculum for every staff person. It's usually shared. In that curriculum, there are 36 interactive lessons, so which equates to lessons being delivered 3 times per week for 12 weeks. And then there are 23 additional lifelong learning lessons. So once you're finished with your first 12 weeks, many organizations choose to continue the education and the physical activity component. So there's 23 additional lessons. And those cover understanding attitudes towards health, exercise, and nutrition, identifying current behaviors, developing clear exercise and nutrition goals and how to reach them, and then gaining skills and knowledge about exercising and eating nutritious foods. And then that social support during and after class, since the program is a group class. And Beth just posted oh, Beth, you've been texting or you've been posting everything to only host and panelists. So you're gonna have to select all and post all of this again. So I'll just do the table of contents to everyone. I just gave you a PDF version of the table of contents of the curriculum, so you can kind of look at all of the topics. And then during the training, and Beth is reposting where to find the application. During the training, we go through the table of contents and we talk about different topics that we cover so you get familiar with the content of the curriculum. And then the online classroom is once you receive the training, we once you are in the program, we send you the links to access classroom. The online classroom also has 36 lessons. They're slightly different because this was created during COVID, so they were created to be able to be taught during a hybrid or virtual lessons or sessions. So the sections of each lesson are divided into activities, let's move section. So activities is the health education. Let's move section is suggested exercise videos, and we have a exercise video library that we have created that you can use and swap out videos if you don't like the ones, if participants don't like the ones that we recommend in the lesson, you can go into the library and do more. And then there is an evaluation section where participants can kind of vote if they like the lesson or not. We do recommend that the program be run 3 times per week. So that is looking at about 60 to 90 minutes per session because it does include physical activity component. And how does that translate in your staff time? It takes about 4 to 6 hours per week per staff for staff time, and this includes your planning as well. So and then we can talk more. I'll be talking more about that. The cool part about Google Classroom is that if you post a question or if you need any resource, we get it. We get your question immediately, and we are able to respond to you very quickly. So it's a really neat way of being able to kind of support you throughout the program. So we're able to kind of even offer adaptations and all kinds of those things kind of within 24 hours, we can get back to you. And like I've mentioned, the classroom and the lessons are exactly the same as the paper curriculum, except you're receiving that multimodal way of interacting with materials. So there's short videos, there's infographics, it's just kind of more fun than just having a paper copy of it, which is fine too. So people choose to do, both or one or the other. One thing is with the Google Classroom, um, for the most part, we are able to add Google Workspace emails to the classroom. So if your organization is using Google Workspace emails, we can add them. If I have issues with that, I will let you know. If you do not have a Google Workspace email, we will just need you to create a Gmail account, and I talk about that a little bit later. So we are welcoming 15 new organizations in the fall. And what are the types of organizations? Community-based service providers, day and residential programs, also schools and recreational centers, project search or school to work transition sites. We have worked with many across the country. We have worked with local public health departments, university centers for excellence in developmental disabilities, USEDS, managed care organizations, Special Olympics sites, in schools. Age of participants with intellectual disability. The program was tested with adults with intellectual disability. However, the program has been used in schools, but not formally tested. So we always recommend the program can be taught from middle school and up. Couple of considerations in order to participate. A brief online application. We really want to make sure that you have an opportunity to obtain support from your executive director to ensure buy-in and program continuity. We want you to identify a team coordinator, and that is a person I will be communicating with. And the team coordinator is responsible to communicate with the rest of the team. That does not mean other team members cannot contact me, but it's just easier for me to have a point person. If I need something, or if I have a question or a follow-up, I have one go-to person. And even if you have multiple sites, and we do have larger organizations where they want to have multiple sites and roll out the program simultaneously in these sites, just apply once. And then in that application, you indicate how many sites you have, and then you obviously would have multiple teams. So we just take note that way, but just one application is totally sufficient for that. We don't want to be duplicating the work. And then just thinking about participants or those early adopters with intellectual disability who may be interested in participating. You can run the program individually, but it is created as a group and with social support component to the program. So we do recommend getting at least 6 to 8 participants per group at the time. Anything that's above 10 becomes a different type of program. So we really want to keep the groups small so we can make sure that participants can really get the most out of the program. And then obviously, as I mentioned, if you have staffing and capacity, you can run multiple groups at the same time. And then when you're thinking about enrolling or consenting participants, follow your organizational policy. When we do the training, we do have sample consents or even like healthcare provider consents and those kinds of things that we share with you if you need kind of a support document. But we talk more about this during the training. And then with staff capacity, we want you to build a team of at least 2 to 3 staff members. And obviously, this depends on how many individuals with intellectual disability you're planning to enroll at once. And then initially devoting about 6 to 10 hours for initial planning and training. So this, again, includes the 6-hour training plus some background work. And then be able to devote 4 to 6 hours per week for 12 weeks to deliver the program. With the 2 to 3 staff members, why we don't want just one person to be trained in, because there's a lot of energy that goes into kind of on your end and our end to start something that's pretty robust. And then if the program depends only on one person and that program gets reassigned or is no longer with the organization, which happens quite often, we want to make sure that there's additional staff members who can carry the torch. So we can, while we wait to train additional ones at a later time. So that's kind of, and building the team kind of ensures that camaraderie and just kind of a success of the program increases. With technology, our training is done via Zoom, and I think by now everyone is pretty savvy and fine with that. So any access to internet, ability to access Google Classroom and YouTube. For the most part, no issues with Google Classroom. Sometimes your IT department has to just allow Google Classroom to be accessed, but usually we don't have issues with that. And a little bit about supplies, space, and equipment capacity. Just think about, and we talk about this during the training, but I want to get you guys ready a little bit more. What kind of space do you have to exercise, be it if you are located in a area of the country where you can do a lot of things outdoors, or do you have a park district, community home, day program, or room to do physical activity? Thinking about if you have any exercise equipment, we don't require any exercise equipment. But even if you have, we can kind of incorporate it to be used in during this program. And additionally, even if you're running specific exercise classes now, be it Zumba, yoga, and all of those classes can be folded into the program as well. We're just creating more of a robust program, and we want to utilize whatever you already have developed. If you don't have things developed or health promotion programming, no worries. This is a great place to start as well. We have worked with organizations as small as 15 staff members total to like thousands. So, and we adopt, and we can you can deliver this program in many settings. And then optionally, if you choose to print handouts and make them into paper handouts for participants with disability, that will be that's just an optional supply. All activities are online, so if you don't have access to printers, you can do everything online. And the only thing is, it would be great to have a certificate of achievement to be printed out at the end of the 12 weeks and to be given to the participant that completes the program. And then lastly, timelines and important dates. Application deadline is August 7th, end of business day. Within a week, we will email you and our decision. Deadline to register for the training is August 21st, and this is for invited organizations only. This is a hard deadline, so we cannot accept late registrations. And the reason being is we have to mail out all the paper curricula, and it becomes a very tight deadline for these paper curricula to reach you, so you can have them during the training and be able to kind of go through them as we're doing the 3-hour training. There is an optional welcome webinar on September 2nd. So it's optional. So this is, again, invited organizations only. We recommend that a team coordinator attends, but oftentimes this is a great opportunity to kind of onboard the rest of the team members. But we record it, so you can share it, or you can share the slides. Time is precious, so we don't require you to attend that. And again, another opportunity to answer questions. And then the training dates, there's 2 options, and you just pick one option to attend. One is September 15th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And then the second option is Thursday, September 17th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then free program is running through September 2027. And then the goal is February of 2027. We open up another application session. So if you have additional team members that you want to train in, you can do so at that time. So that's kind of, we kind of roll. So you're going to see this September when we do the training, we're going to have multiple organizations that have been participating for years, additionally training new staff members. And then a couple of other things with the training. I've gone over the training dates, but if you have multiple sites and teams, It would be great that each site or team is on the same webinar training. That way you kind of can do the planning together after. But if that doesn't work, it's okay. As long as you attend one of those two trainings, it's fine. And then the paper curriculum is mailed out to the team coordinator, and the team coordinator is responsible to ensure that you have the materials for the training. The slide deck and all the handouts that we cover, we email you a password protected web page where you can just download the slide deck before the training, and all the handouts are available there. So that concludes my informational piece. I am opening the rest of the session for any questions that you have. We do talk about adaptations and timing and those kinds of things during the training. And then really the importance of just keeping in touch and getting feedback and kind of improving our Google Classroom and also improving the training, that we really pay attention to your feedback as well. Any questions? You can unmute yourself, I believe, or raise hand, or I can unmute you, or you can just put a question in the chat box as well, and I will answer it. If you have received everything from me just chatting for the last 26 minutes, feel free to sign off. I don't want to waste anyone's time. You can always email me. I will put my email in the chat. If you have a burning question, we are going to share the slide deck from today and this recording after the webinar, so you'll be able to access it again, and you can contact me as well. Thank you for your time. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes. I want to make sure I'm answering everyone's questions, and we look forward to your application. One question, are we allowed to charge for the program when we administer and teach it? So it depends. You cannot charge for the program to teach and train other staff. So we can only do the training of the staff. But if you're charging individuals with intellectual disability for the program, that's fine. However, your programming is sort of like delivery of the special programs is organized, that's fine. We are always interested in kind of understanding if you do charge and how you're doing it, because managed care organizations have done that too, or made our program available to their users. We will be sharing access to the slides via email. Yes, we will put everything on YouTube. So in the sort of notes section, you will be able to click and access the slides for sure.